It's time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Pet Show. Is your golden acting a little grumpy? Are you being harassed by your Himalayan? Does your terrier have you totally terrified? Well, if you love animals, I'm assuming you do, care about wildlife and the environment, and really want to learn how to understand your dog's and cat's behavior as well as they understand yours, if you want to improve their lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. And we'll be talking about pet psychology, pet training, pet lifestyle. So many good things to talk about on today's show. So hop up on my couch. Bring those furry little adorable buddies with you. Yes, it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never ever a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets as much as you do. By the way, if you want to join me on the Ever-Growing Pet Show family, that's what we do here on this show. If you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat's behavior, they're jumping, they're digging, they're scratching, not using their litter box, hate the dog next door, chases every dog he sees, dug up your backyard, cat scratched your favorite chair, pooped on your bed. You get the idea. That's what we do here on the Pet Show. Help you resolve any issues you may be having relating to your pet's behavior, and any issues your pets may be having relating to your behavior. So that's what this show does. We help resolve any problems to make you guys love each other even more than you already do. By the way, if you happen to be new to the Pet Show or regular in the Pet Show, it doesn't make any difference. Everyone that calls into the Pet Show today and gets to talk to me live, whether it be to answer my question of the day, whether to ask a question about their dog or cat's behavior, want to share a great story. I love the calls from people that call me and say, Warren, we recently adopted an older dog, or we adopted a bonded pair. If you recently adopted a dog or a cat, great time to call me. And I say that every week because your story actually impresses a lot of my listeners. They all love animals, and it may encourage them to go out and adopt that dog or cat today as well. So great time to give me a call. I'll answer all of your questions. Plenty of time for your comments. Lots of super stuff to give away. And again, if you're new to the show, it's not like I'm giving away dog biscuits here, folks. Many of the items I give away on the Pet Show are worth $25, $35, $45, even $50 and more. So it's a great time to give me a call if you have a question, a comment, want to share a great story, brag a little bit about your dog. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-KRLA. Or if you're more of a numbers person like me, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. If you happen to be watching live on YouTube, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. I'll take some questions from my YouTube channel as well. So you can call, you can go to youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, or give me a call at 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So let me tell you what I have planned for today's show. Is he going to get to it? That's the question every week. Warren, are you going to get to all your topics? Well, remember, any topics I miss will be posted on my YouTube channel. But let me tell you what I plan on talking about today. Some really important stuff, but your phone calls are my priority, so we'll try to get all of these as well. You know, I am constantly asked, always asked. I remember doing the Today Show years back when Al Roker said to me, Warren, come on, you're crazy. Animals don't have emotions like people do they? And let me tell you what's coming up on the show. I'm always asked if your dogs have emotions. And on today's show, finally, I will share not one, not two, not three, not even four, but the 7 emotions that our dogs actually share with you and me. We think the only ones who feel emotional? No, our dogs feel emotional as well, and our cats. So coming up, the 7 emotions that dogs share with their guardians. That coming up a little bit later. If you think your dog shares your emotions with you, I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, the way to get through. Also coming up, Let's face it, no one, I mean no one, likes to watch their dog or cat get older. But as they do, they may be suffering with dog or cat dementia. Not something to poo-poo, folks. What are the symptoms that every single one of you, every single pet guardian out there needs to know these symptoms? There are amazing things that can now be done with dogs and cats that do suffer with, dementia, kind of a form of Alzheimer's. So we'll talk about that. If anyone's experiencing that, give me a call. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. Also coming up on today's show, I receive so many inquiries about barking dogs. My dog's barking too much, Warren. My dog's not barking enough. What's the bottom line here? Coming up, again, something I really did a lot of work on this for you guys. I am going to share with you the 8 most common reasons why your dogs bark and how you can resolve that. There are many different reasons why dogs bark. People just think, well, the dog's barking. Well, and a lot of trouble. The dog's barking, just tell them to shut up, yell at them. But no. Why is your dog barking? Coming up, the 7 or 8 reasons that cause your dog to bark. We'll talk about that as well. Also coming up, something I specialized in for years. You guys know I did a lot of training overseas in Southeast Asia and Europe and other places as well. And my specialty was using a dog's nose, their olfactory, to sniff out all kinds of stuff, whether it be narcotics, whether it be incendiary devices, whether it be certain types of diseases. So how is it done? Coming up, we're going to talk about your dog's not first, but second nose. That's right. Do dogs really have a second nose? We'll talk about that. As always, plenty of time to answer your pet and animal questions. Lots of great stuff to give away. Again, the phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. We are into our 43rd year, 43 years of talking to you guys on radio, on TV, and helping you resolve issues that you may be having with your pets. And over the years, we've been able to resolve so many different issues, but what we do on the Pet Show that's really different and has been different, number one, ego aside, it's my over 50 years experience working with animals on every continent, but more important than that is rather than focus on how do I stop this behavior, how do I stop my cat from doing this, how do I stop my dog from doing this, the important thing, any good behaviorist, whether it be human behaviorist or animal behaviorist, should really focus just as much, if not more, on what causes a behavior, not just how to resolve it. Because sometimes if you don't know the cause, you may resolve it temporarily, but you're not resolving it on a permanent basis. So we're going to talk about that. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Anybody have a good pet joke out there? Feel free to share it with me as well. The question of the day that I'm asking you guys, can our pets tell what we are thinking? Can our pets tell what we're thinking? I just think dinner. That's all I got to do is think dinner, and Molly and Willie come a-running. So, can our pets tell what we're thinking? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the pet show. I got to tell you, Denise and I went away for a couple of days this week, which is pretty rare. I never took a vacation all the years I lived till I met Denise, but we went on a vacation. We went to wine country. Kind of interesting considering that I don't drink. But it was interesting. We had a lot of fun there. But let me tell you, one of the things I found amazing is the difference in the beaches. Being a New Yorker, you'd never know it. The beaches in Southern California, where I live in Santa Monica, they're pristine with the white sand, and they're beautiful. But I got to tell you, we were up in I don't even know where we were, Paso Robles, and I got to tell you, the beaches with all that driftwood and the hard rocks and just there was something special about it. I mean, I love where I live in Santa Monica, believe me, but there was something special about the ruggedness, the naturalness of a not so pristine beach. I really enjoyed it. But even more important than that, I got to tell you, I met more Central California dogs. Unbelievable. Even when we went to one of the wineries, and Denise had a couple of glasses of wine, I did what I did, and I met these 2 incredible standard poodles that belonged to the owner. I think it was Everly Winery, and I got to talk to him. A really neat guy. In fact, I'm going to bring him on the air one day because he's such a big dog lover, and so it was just an interesting trip for me. And I got to tell you, even as a non-wine drinker, it was a ball. Had a good time. More dogs than just the amount of dogs running on the beach there and having a ball was incredible. I like to see that happening more here in Southern California as well. Again, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Lynn, I'm going to go to your call, but I don't know if I can help you. That's why rescues are out there. That's why we donate money to rescues. Hey, let's go to Lynn in L.A. Hi, Lynn. Welcome to the Pet Show. Hey, Lynn.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? I'm reading that you have ended up with...
I'm fine, thank you.
I heard that you ended up with 13 rescued kittens, and you're insane because you already have 8 cats.
Well, no, they're all from one litter.
So you have how many kittens? 13?
I have 8, but they're all from one litter.
So all your kittens are from the same litter that you have. How old are they?
They're 2 years old now. They opened their eyes to me. I'm a lot more sane than this sounds. This is just a very specific circumstance. I lost both of my parents. My dog got sick. I had so many different things going on, and I could not imagine letting go of any of them. And they opened their eyes to me, so they follow me around. I'm mom, and they never had a mom. I mean, they had one that disappeared. And through crazy circumstances, I ended up taking care of these cats. I was going to place them with a rescue, but there weren't enough bottle feeders. So they asked me to bottle feed them, and then I don't know, the oxytocin.
So I don't want to run out of time. So you have 8 of these kittens now.
Yeah.
And so what's your question for me?
They're 2. So can you just keep 8 cats? I mean, it sounds nuts, but I don't know.
No, it doesn't sound nuts to me. I had 27 cats at one time. So you're talking to you're talking to someone's a little bit.
Okay.
If you're crazy, then they should be putting me away a lot of years ago. As long as they're getting along, as long as they're eating, as long as they're pooping normally, Mom, you got 8 cats you're going to have to live with. It's the way it is.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I feel better.
It's always better when you find someone that's crazier than you, isn't it?
I guess that's the point. But I just thought, is this just, have I just tipped in?
Well, you can afford you can afford the 8 cats that are 2 years old. You give them a lot of socializing.
They're being well cared for.
And there's no doubt in my mind that you adore them and they adore you. So congratulations. You're like the little old, not that you're old, but you're like the little old lady that lived in a shoe. Just bring them in. And by the way, the 27 cats I had at one time didn't include my 30 dogs and assorted other variety of pets out there. Anyway, great call. Give them all a big hug and a big kiss. And I'd love for you to send me a picture. If you can email me a picture at mail@thepetshow.com. I'd love to post it on some of my social media.
I will. I'd be happy to.
Listen, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold, Lynn, and you're going to get on with the lovely, lovely Suzette. And I am going to send you, you think they love you now, they're even going to love you more because I'm going to send you some kitty lickies for your cats. And I appreciate that phone call. I love my listeners. You guys are absolutely the best. Great time to give me a call. I got a couple of open lines. We just started, right? The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Lots of great stuff. If you're new to the show, I got my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplements to give away. I have Lucy pet food. I'm going to do a commercial right now. Orthrosuit Gold for your dogs and cats' hips and joints. Copies of my best-selling books, either dog or cat. Hemp seed oil. You just heard me give away some kitty lickies. Those amazing T-shirts that say none of my friends walk upright. If you have a dog that's scooting his butt, I even got some great stuff for that. If you have a dog that's licking his paw, I got some great stuff to give away for that as well. And if you have one of those lovely dogs that goes outside and eats poop, I even got something for that as well. So great time to call me. I'll answer your question, and a great gift will be on its way. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Okay, listen, here's the deal. You know, I'm listening to this song. I was watching the news this morning, and they're having an auction of some wild horses and wild burros with the Bureau of Land Management. Just leave the horses and burros alone. Jeez, come on, guys. Let them be free. Let them roam. But it is a great auction. I mean, people can, I think it's like $125. People can adopt one of these and have the type of property or know where you can place them. It's a great idea because they're just absolutely gorgeous and deserve a whole lot better than they often get. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. A brand new study reveals that U.S. dog and cat guardians, that's you guys out there, grew even closer to your dogs and cats during the COVID-19 pandemic, with complex connections emerging between pet guardianship, stress, and loneliness. The fact that we were all going through that, boy, our pets were probably the best prescription that any doctor can give us during the pandemic. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go over to Mary Glendale. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hello, Warren.
Hello, Mary.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love your show.
Well, thank you.
I have a question for you. My son adopted me a kitty from ASPCA. She'll be 6 years old this June 5th. And she's a beautiful Siamese cat. She's big. She's beautiful with big blue eyes. But over this past year, she's been shedding an incredible amount of hair. I mean, she's fully, she's got plenty of fur, but I don't understand why she sheds so much.
Well, a lot depends. There's many, many different reasons for shedding. Shedding can be caused by environmental issues. Shedding can be caused because the diet isn't proper for the dog or the cat. Shedding can be caused by stress and anxiety. Has there been major changes in your home, Mary? And anyone new, anyone old, anything different in your home that may have started at the same time the shedding increased?
Well, my daughter passed away.
I'm so sorry.
About 2 years ago this June. And she died suddenly.
How close, Mary, how close was your cat with your daughter?
Oh, very close. Every time my daughter came to visit me, she just hugged Sapphire. Yeah. She couldn't keep her hands off of Sapphire.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. But let me do this. I'm bragging. One of the reasons that the Hugs and Kisses supplement was developed by me a long time ago and the top vets in the country was because of excessive shedding and dander. But again, as you heard me say when I opened the show, more important to me than the resolution is the cause. That's why I really worked on things like stress and anxiety and other things that may cause a dog or a cat to be stressed out, which is, again, is going to give them a more apt shedding scenario. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to send you a jar of my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treat specifically for your cat. Now, there's 2 ingredients there that are absolutely miracles. One is biotin, the other is lecithin. Those 2 ingredients only in my Hugs and Kisses supplement should make a major difference. And also, because of the other nutrients in there, it will help alleviate some of stress or anxiety that may be causing this. So first of all, again, my heart breaks for you, Mary. You sound like you're an incredible lady with an incredible heart. So sorry for the loss of your daughter. But you know what? Part of that cat is part of your daughter. I can tell just from listening to you. Isn't that right?
Yes, I know. And I feel it. I feel that she misses her because she's always looking for her. Anytime my daughter would come to visit, she would just jump up and be so happy.
You know what? I'm sure that your daughter is looking down now and saying, "Mom, give that cat a big hug and a kiss from me too." What I'm going to do, Mary, God bless you. I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to hook up with the incredible Suzette. Just hearing Suzette's voice sometimes can make you feel better. And we're going to send you a jar of my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for your cat. And I really do appreciate that phone call. I'm going to be talking a little bit later. It's very rare that I'm able to do a a sale with the Hugs and Kisses supplement. I'm going to talk about a sale coming up a little bit later, and it's quite incredible. I've never been able to do it before, and kind of in conjunction with Amazon and Walmart and all those places. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'll have to break in a minute. When we come back, it's going to be Pim, Bernadine, Debbie, Sarah. This trip that Denise and I made was just absolutely amazing, driving up to the Central Coast. And, you know, being a New Yorker, it was all kind of fascinating to me. One of the things I noticed, and I guess I don't notice, I guess it's all over Santa Monica too, but I guess I didn't notice it as much because I was away. My mind was in a different mental state. Is that the people walking their dogs on the beach, and what an array of dogs I saw. I mean, Catahoula leopard dogs, and Great Pyrenees, and I even saw a Kisund, just amazing dogs. One of the things that I wish people would talk about more is when you take your dog out for a walk, or you take your dog to the beach, or a picnic, or to someone's house. Literally, if you think no one's watching, do you have amazing conversations? I was watching people from a distance talking to their dogs just like they would be talking to you and me. I wonder if they're talking about politics or what they're having for dinner tonight or how they're feeling or what they want to do. But you know, it's years ago when I talked about the ability to have conversations with your dog or cat and how that feedback is so important, even though sometimes it's silent. You know, people kind of, there's a lot of reasons people try to put me away, but I got to be honest with you. I think it's so, what's the word I'm looking for, Warren? Come on, what's the word? Oh, so healthy and so beneficial, not only for you, but for your pets as well, to have those conversations. I honestly believe they understand what we're saying a lot more, and they understand what we're thinking a lot more than we know. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break, then we'll get right back to your phone calls. Listen carefully. You know, I know there are so many products out there for your dogs and cats, but there's Glad you're with me. What's up, Pim?
Really got it good one time, and then the second time he got it pretty good, and then the third time he acted like he didn't know what I was doing. Should I use it? I want to know if I should use a clicker.
You know, a lot of trainers and behaviors use the clicker for training purposes. In my days of training, the clickers were not being used that often, but a lot of people have success with them. Basically, what the clicker does is the little sound of the click when the cat is at the point of responding properly to something, the click is kind of the reward. I think it's a good approach if you're consistent with it. The problem that a lot of people have with clicker training is they don't get to the point of something I call variable reinforcement, where sometimes if it's overused by the non-professional, the dog or the cat, in your case, responds or just hears the clicker so often that it becomes secondary to him. So I think it's a great idea. I also believe, though, later on, once the cat understands it, using some variable reinforcement could be beneficial. That simply means sometimes the clicker, sometimes not the clicker in a random way. But using a clicker, I think it's fine with your cat if that's the way you want to approach it, Pim. How old is your cat?
He's 8.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm glad you're training him.
Does the clicker teach that he wants him to do something?
I'm having a lot of difficulty hearing. So let me do this, ma'am. The clicker training is fine. It's a great idea, and if you want to use it, just be sure you're consistent. What I'm also going to do, though, you lucky devil, is I'm putting you on hold, and you're going to get a copy of my best-selling book. Has been a bestseller for many, many years. How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. There's some great training tips in there as well. But the clicker training for your cat, absolutely fine if that's the approach you would like to take. So here are some of the reasons that your dog may be barking. And then I'm going to get right back to the phones. Now, people want my dog's barking to be annoying. He's barking because he sees this. I'm going to give you 8 reasons specifically I put together. Number 1, your dog could be barking to alert you that something's going on or something's out there. It could be territorial barking, meaning your dog is being protective of the territory or yourself. It could be play and excitement barking. We all know that. Ever see a dog put his front down, his butt up in the air and start barking? That's playful barking. It could be demand barking. Those are people that respond to it incorrectly. When the dog is barking, rather than try to work with the dog, they go over and give the dog a treat or a reward or even pay negative attention to the dog. So demand barking is part of it. There's also number 5. I put down boredom barking. If a dog is bored, not getting enough mental stimulation, they will bark as well. And a lot of people that have adopted dogs go through this, but it always comes out because my listeners are the best. You have fearful and reactive barking as well. You also have barking due to separation anxiety. And in many, many cases, and I get this all the time, all of a sudden, Warren, my dog is barking, he's getting older. What's going on? Well, let's take a look at the concept that your dog may be getting a little bit older. I don't hear the same way I did when I was younger. How many times a day do I say to Denise, "Hey, Denise, what did you say? What did you say?" Well, as our dogs get older, they don't hear themselves as well, so that can be creating more of a barking scenario as well. So there you have it, the 8 reasons your dog is barking. So the next time your dog is barking, rather than just listening to someone say, "Shut the dog up," spend some time. Why is the dog barking? Is he barking because you're giving him too much attention? Is he barking because he's bored? Check that out. It can make all the difference in the world. That's the stuff that keeps me up at night. All right, let me get right back to the busy phone lines right now. We are going to, the phone number, by the way, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let's go to my buddy Bernadine in Long Beach. Hey, Bernadine, welcome to the show.
Hey, Warren. God bless you. Thank you for taking my call.
It's my pleasure, Bernadine. What's up?
You asked me to call back about an update on that large Akita and Husky that we found in East Long Beach.
Oh, yeah. I remember that call. What was up? What's the story?
Oh, my gosh, you won't believe it. We posted everywhere in Long Beach on Nextdoor, and we didn't get any answer. The owners had been looking for their dogs from East L.A. She happened to go to her doctor on Monday, the 24th, and told her doctor about the dogs got out by mistake without their collars on, and they were distraught. And the doctor told them, get on Nextdoor. And they go, we never knew about Nextdoor. So they signed up to Nextdoor, and guess what, Warren? They saw the post from Long Beach and the one on Dogs of Nextdoor. They saw the post for their dog. She called immediately, and they were reunited on Tuesday.
Oh, with a last name like Eckstein, the only thing I can say is Mazel Tov.
Amen.
What a great... See, that's what happens when people really put in the effort. You know, it's not always going to work out in a positive way, but at least people put in the effort very often. And I get up at 4 o'clock or 3:30 every morning, and by 5 o'clock, I'm in tears because I get every post of every missing dog, stray dog, all across the United States and Canada, even some from Guam. And when I hear a story like this, if people would just make more of an effort, like Nextdoor, I think Nextdoor is a fabulous thing to do. I find some contractors from my house on Nextdoor. So it's a great way for communities to, and the fact that they have that dog posting, what a great story that these dogs will now be reunited. And I'm sure you established a new friendship with these people.
Oh, I just sent Maria, the owner, a Nextdoor message, and she's getting, by the way, she's getting the dog's chip this week.
Oh God! What a great story. You know, we hear so many horror stories. It's always good to find a good one. Bernadette, thank you so much for calling back.
And thank you, Warren.
I might have sent you something last time, but I like you. I'm sending you a T-shirt that says "None of my friends walk upright," and I appreciate the call. Hey, great time to call me, by the way. We're going to get to you, Debbie, Mike, Sarah. I got 2 open lines. Pretty rare here on the Pet Show. Phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Hey, by the way, guys, what's the holdup? Why aren't you answering my question? Can your dogs and cats tell what you're thinking? Think dinner time. Think you want to go for a walk. Think you want to go for a ride in the car. Think about daddy's coming home or mommy's coming home. Do you believe that your dogs know what you're thinking and your cats? Give me a call. Let me know. A great gift will be on its way to you. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Still got lots of super stuff to give away. Lots. I got at least 24 brand new items I'll be giving away on the Pet Show. Thanks to my sponsors. And once again, let me just remind everyone, Warren, why do you give this stuff away? I'll tell you why. Number one, I know these sponsors well, and I know their products inside out. But more important is many of the items I give away are related to the situation that you're calling about. So it's a win-win for everybody. 866-870-5752, the phone number. The phones are full. Be patient with me. I will get to all your calls, I promise. But right now, I better take a commercial break or Alex will definitely throw something at me. Hey, listen. Little Peter Pan here. We're back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. The phones are jamming. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the calls. I got a babysitter who's babysitting a dog that humps her. I got another woman with a Chesapeake Bay Retriever that's not trained. I got a dog that's afraid of people in lounges. I got another one that's scooting her butt. And then I got a cat who's putting her foot in the water dish and spreading her paw prints all over the house. Great calls. I'm going to get to all of them, even if I have to cut some of my stuff. You guys are amazing. But right now, we got a butt scooting dog in Redondo Beach. We can't have that. Hey, Debbie, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Hi, it's my pleasure. What type of dog do you have, Debbie?
I have a poodle mix. I got him from the rescue, not really sure.
A beautiful blended breed. So, how old?
He'll be 14 in June.
14 years. So, tell me a little bit about the scooting.
Well, like, we get his anal glands expressed. Actually, we've been doing them ourselves lately, but...
Isn't that a fun job? Isn't that a fun job, Debbie?
I let my husband do it. I'm not going to
There
lie.
you go. That's why women get married, so husbands can express their dog's anal glands. I know there's a reason for it.
Yeah, but, so, anyway, so this morning, you know, he got his bath and his anal glands expressed and all that. But he's still scooting, and my husband noticed he has, like, hair in his butt. I don't know how else to say it. But,
I mean, hair in his butt or hair coming out of his butt?
Well, around, I don't know, somewhere.
Well, yeah. Well, in other words, it could be that it could be that the dog is licking himself consistently, and that's why he's got hair there. There's a product on the market. It's manufactured by my friends at NatureVet right here in Temecula, California. It's actually called Capophagia Stool Eating Deterrent Chewable Tablets. This product has been around with NatureVet for quite a while, and I would say in 99% of the cases, it really makes a difference. However, at 14 years old, I'm not going to put "I guarantee" on the label, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you some. By the way, Suzette, this is something I don't often send. It's called Stool Eating Deterrent Chewable Tablets. I'm going to send those to you. Is the dog's poop normal? I mean, is any diarrhea or constipation? Everything's normal?
Perfect. He's a perfect pooper.
A perfect pooper. There you go. Yeah, let me send you some of these stool eating deterrent tablets from NatureVet. Let's see if that makes a difference. Give me a call back in a couple of weeks. In terms of the hair, I'm not really sure. The only thing I can think of is sometimes when our dogs get older, they're not as active as they might have been, and the licking sometimes is a way of alleviating a little anxiety and stress. And if they're licking themselves more, guess where that hair goes? It goes into their belly, and they're going to wind up pooping it out. So that would be my guess. I don't think there's any hair coming from inside the dog, so it must be that the dog is either stressed or maybe licking themselves a little bit more and ingesting that much hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the deterrent from NatureVet, the stool eating deterrent. But I also would recommend with your 14-year-old dog, and I'm going to do a commercial for my own product in a little bit. I can't send you both. The Hugs and Kisses Vitamin Mineral Supplement Treat. One of the important parts of that is a couple of reasons. And number one, it has a prebiotic probiotic formula, which will help with digestion an awful lot. And it could be just that sometimes when the dog's butt is bothering them, they're going to scoot it. But I don't know what's going on there. If the anal glands are always impacted, then these pills will definitely help. So, but the Hugs and Kisses should be on your list as well. But what I'm going to do right now, Debbie, is I'm going to put you on hold. The lovely Suzette is going to pick up, and we're going to send you some Capophagia. Just put that. Suzette, just put down stool eating deterrent chewable tablets, and I know what you're talking about. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. That's a perfect example of why I give away some of the items. I mean, a lot of people would have never even realized there's something out there that's made. And by the way, as I said, it's made by NatureVet in Temecula, an amazing company, and it's an amazing product. So on its way to you. And I appreciate that, folks. And I got a feeling they're going to send you a little bit more, too. They have a tendency to send some great gifts out there. All right, let me do this. The phones are absolutely full. I promise I'll cut whatever I need. We got a whole hour to go get to all your calls. But right now, I want to tell you about my own product, the Hugs and Kisses. But I want you to listen to me carefully because this sale's been going on. We have a special sale that is ending tomorrow, or is it? Is it ending tomorrow, or is it? Listen to me carefully. We're throwing a huge And we are back on the Petro. Somehow this song reminds me of my hangout days in West Village in New York. Anyway, let's get back to the phones here. We're going to go to Sarah in Balboa. Hey, Sarah, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Thank you for all you do.
Well, no, thank you for all you guys do. Without you, I could do any of it. How can I help you today?
I sometimes walk a dog, and I go over there, and she wants to hump me. It's a female 2-year-old. I think it's a miniature labradoodle. I think.
Okay, so you're the lady that goes over there, and how often do you go there?
Not regularly, but maybe a couple times a month, anyway.
Okay, so when you go there, what's the dog's name?
Julia.
So Julia is humping your leg, and well, let me go over a couple of things with you. First of all, I know you're a beautiful lady, but don't feel flattered. It has nothing to do with how good your leg is looking. I can tell you that right off the bat. Generally speaking, when a dog is humping, male or female, in most cases, it's more of a dominant approach than a sexual approach. The fact that you come into the property a couple of times a month, and I'm sure the dog loves you, but the dog is kind of letting you know a little bit that, hey, listen, this is my house. I'm here. I'm going to hump your leg. So the best way to distract that is if you push the dog away. A lot of people, even trainers, are like, well, shake your leg, shake her off. That's just going to get the dog more excited. What I recommend that you do is you have one toy that this dog absolutely loves, but the only time he sees or gets that toy is when Sarah comes over. So as soon as you walk into the house, you hand him the toy. Now he's focused on that, not so much on humping your leg. We don't want to overly correct him for humping your leg because that's going to make him more excited. So this is something in the world of animal psychology, again, we call distraction therapy. There are certain issues that are better off, rather than focusing on correcting because it's instinct, you're better off distracting. So I would find one type of toy that Julia absolutely cannot live without. Bring it over. The only time when you go there, when you leave, pick it up and go home. And I promise you, your next couple of visits will be hump free.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
What kind? Oh, you said how old is that Julia?
2 years.
Oh, she's a baby. Let's keep her healthy. I'm putting you on hold. And for Julia, she is getting some Lucy pet food. Lucy pet food. It's amazing how many people call me up and how many people email me. And they think that every time a dog humps their leg, that the dog is sexually attracted to them. I had a call not too long ago. Actually, it wasn't a call. It was someone on my YouTube. By the way, if you're not on my YouTube channel, I do a lot of stuff there. Lots of pet tips. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. But it was absolutely amazing to me that the guy called me up because he had a female dog that was mounting other dogs at the dog park, and his concern was the sexual orientation of his dog. I didn't even know how to respond to the guy. Didn't even know how to respond. Anyway, it happened. So remember that the humping from a dog's perspective is not always sexual. In fact, most of the time it's not. It's usually a dominance approach. So no shaking off. Distraction's the way to go. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Here's the deal. We're just going to break for a couple of minutes for the top of the hour. When we come back, Kaylee, I want to get to your call. Well, Kaylee, what happened to Kaylee? Did we lose her? Kaylee had a great call about a Chesapeake Bay Retriever, one of my favorite breeds. I trained a lot of them when I was stationed at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, in Hampton, Virginia. We have Patty with a dog that's afraid of people. We have someone who bought a dog from Guam. So we're just going to break for just a couple of minutes. When we come back, we'll get to all your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to all of your calls. I'm Warren Eckstein, and yes, you are listening to The Pet Show. And if you love your dogs and cats, I'm assuming you do, you have come to the right place. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is it. America's first and only real pet psychology, training, behavior, lifestyle show. Have a question or a comment about your dog or cat, don't know why they're behaving a certain way, or just want to brag a little bit about a great dog or cat you rescued. Just a reminder that everyone that calls into the show gets to chat with me live will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. Many of the items worth $35, $45, $50, so great time to call me, even if you just want to answer my question of the day, and that is, can our dogs and cats tell what we are thinking? Come on, guys, you know they can. Just miss their dinner time by an hour. They know what you're thinking. Or just if I just come home and let's say it's around 5:30 and I'm walking in the house, or even if it's close, Molly and Willie know what I'm thinking. They know if I'm thinking about I'm going to take them outside. You know, if I think about going to take them for a ride, if I'm going to feed them. Do your dogs and cats know what you are thinking? I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call. If we get to talk live, I promise I will send you a fabulous gift. Again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Still coming up on today's show, we talked earlier a little bit about why the different ways. I give you 8 different reasons why your dog may be barking. Still coming up, I'm going to share 7 different emotions that our dogs experience. Now, people may think that's eccentric, but take it from me. I've been doing this for a few weeks. I'm going to share 7 different emotions that I believe our dogs experience. If you think you know them, give me a call. I'd love to hear from you, and I will send you something super. 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Just before we get to Tina, Jan, Patty, and Betty, you know, a dog's sense of smell is incredibly powerful, much, much, much stronger than our human sense of smell. And it's the primary way they explore their environments. In fact, dogs have sort of a second nose that we don't have. It's called the Jacobson organ. Snakes have it as well. It's located between the roof of their mouth and their nostrils. This allows them to detect scent molecules that regular sniffing misses, such as pheromones. It's that Jacobson organ. It's an unbelievable, it's kind of a vomer nasal. I never can pronounce that word. But anyway, that's the organ, the Jacobson organ. It's unbelievable how great I always kind of explain it this way. If you're cooking spaghetti sauce, I'll walk in and I'll smell spaghetti sauce. If a dog comes in, he's going to smell the oregano, the garlic, God knows whatever else you guys put in tomato sauce. He smells them individually. That's why they're able to be taught to sniff out certain types of drugs, certain types of physical ailments. I remember I trained the first dog for a woman in Massachusetts. I trained to sniff out seizures. She had epilepsy, and before the dog was trained, she would pass out on the street. People think she was a junkie or whatever. Well, we trained this dog with a special vest that was able to pick up the changes in her chemical body, and therefore, when she did either pass out or fall down, the dog was able to guide her, stand over her with a vest and information that this was what she needed, this is her name, this is all of her information. Just amazing, amazing stuff. And that was done, God, I did that when I was the head trainer for Assistance Dogs International. God, that has to have been, maybe 79 or 80. God, a long, long time ago. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's get right back to the phone lines here. We are going to Patty. Hi, Patty. Welcome to the show.
Morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Well, it's my joy, Patty. How can I help you today?
Well, I have a Chesapeake Bay Retriever that she loves to eat socks. That's one of the issues. The other is that she's afraid of people and dogs, but she'll lunge and bark at them.
How old is the dog, Patty?
8 months.
Okay, she's a baby. First of all, let me tell you, I had quite a bit of experience working with Chesapeake Bay Retrievers. Truly an American breed of dog. If you don't have any idea what they look like, kind of like a, I'm just going to give it as close as kind of like a chocolatey Labrador with curly hair. How's that?
Perfect.
Pretty close, right? But incredibly
Yes,
bright,
that's it.
but also one of those breeds used for hunting. They were used for duck hunting, and they have an incredible bond with the people that they live with. One of the biggest mistakes that people make with this breed is they don't spend enough time socializing, and socializing. She's only 8 months old now, so you're still at that point where socialization can make a big difference. What I would try to do is socialize her with as many people as you can, but not overcrowding her. For example, I would invite some friends over to your house, have them sit down, maybe on the floor, maybe some dog treats, and that's enough for that day. Little by little, if every time the dog is around people, it always ends in a positive way, that's going to resolve that issue. And I want you to understand that from a psychological standpoint, dogs learn through association. So if all the associations are positive with people, then that's what the dog's going to think. In terms of other dogs, have you done any type of training with the dog at all, Patty?
Well, yes, she knows the basic commands: sit, stay, leave it, off, down.
Okay, so let me ask
come
you a
here.
question. If you were to take, what's your dog's name?
Truffle.
If you were to take Truffle for a walk right now, and Truffle saw another dog, and you were to tell her to sit, stay, or lie down, would she respond to you, or would she be too excited from seeing the other dog or person?
She would lunge. She would lunge.
So
towards
that's
the dog
the
barking.
point I'm trying to get across here. Everyone lives with Rin Tin Tin at home. But when you take the dog to a different location, don't expect the same response because there are so many different distractions out there. One of the things that I always did when I was training is I would always teach the basics in a quiet area, but as I was teaching the basics, I would gradually introduce the dog into different environments that I was going to confront as the dog got older, and therefore I had the basic control. The dog knew the commands, so little by little I was able to work with the dog in situations where she might have been distracted or lunging, whatever, till I got that positive response. Now, it might have taken me 20 minutes just to get that dog to respond positively one time, but if you ended with that positive response, that's the time she's going to remember. If you do that 10 or 11 times in a row, then your problem's going to be over and done with. But you just have to remember that when a dog is lunging, or whether it be a dog or people, we tend to get excited. No, stop it, knock it off, and then you pull the dog back, and all of that's just making the dog crazier. What I want you to do is solidify your basic training again with no distractions, and then little by little take it to areas where there's not too much going on, practice it there, and little by little increase the distraction scenario, and you will ultimately have this incredible dog. And let me tell you, Chesapeake Bays are trouble with them is they're sometimes a little too smart for the people that they live with. So you're going to have to be really, really consistent and focused, but I promise you, this is an incredible breed. More socialization is really important, though.
How do I reward the good behavior then? If she responds, do you encourage treats or just praise?
You know, it's kind of a combination. A lot of people use treats. I've always used a hug and a kiss. Good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, till the dog wanted me to shut up because he heard good boy so many times. So it's an option. You know what I would try in your case? It's 8 months old. Why don't you heard me? I don't know if you were listening before. I was talking about variable reinforcement. That simply means the dog never knows what its reward is going to be. So what I would do is sometimes a pat on the head, a hug and a kiss, and other times maybe a treat. So he never knows what he's going to get as his reward. It could be a treat, could be a hug, could be whatever. That's the way I would approach it with your dog at this point.
Okay, great. That's great advice.
What made you decide on a Chesapeake?
We've had them for years. We've had them for probably 20-some years.
Yeah, because they're so popular on the East Coast, especially down in the Chesapeake area, Virginia, Maryland. Just amazing breed of dog. But again, it's one of those breeds that was used primarily for duck hunting, and they tend to bond with the hunter. There are certain breeds that tend to bond with the hunter. So had you called me early on when the puppy was maybe 10 or 12 weeks old, right off the bat with this breed, I would have had you going incredibly in-depth in terms of socialization. But anyway, Patty, I'm putting you on hold. I am sending you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. There's some great things to follow in that book. Book's been out for many years. Many of the things never change in terms of how to stop your dog from lunging at people and other dogs. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. Did you know that 50% of dogs over 11 years old have been found to display signs of dementia, but typically the symptoms of dementia start as young as 8 or 9. So I want you to understand this. Some of the symptoms you guys should be looking for. If you notice that your older dog is getting a little confused or disoriented, failure to remember training, even some of the house rules, no longer responding to their names or commands, zoning out or staring blankly, aimlessly wandering, anxiety, irritability, lost interest to play, decrease in grooming, loss of appetite, change in sleeping patterns, everything. Notice. I always tell people I spend half of my time just watching Molly and Willie when everything's fine. When everything's perfect, we'll be sitting around at night watching reruns of whatever I watch. And then if I notice any changes, it really encouraged me and enables me to pick up on little, may seem insignificant to most people, but could mean something else is going on. So if you have an older dog and you're noticing any of those symptoms I just went over, it might be good to have a conversation with your vet, but it also may be good to keep a little diary, keep a little chart. Every dog guardian should have a little diary or chart, and they can write down every couple of months or every couple of weeks, notice any changes that they may be having. And some of those changes may be just aging or physiological, but some of those changes could be psychological as well. So important stuff there. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. We're going to get to Betty, Jan, Daniel, and Tina. Great time to give me a call. I'm surprised no one came up with the answer for today's question. Do you not believe that your dogs know or your cats know what you're thinking sometimes? Think about it. Just stand there and think about it. Want to go for a walk? Want to go for a ride in the car? Want to go outside? Just think about it. See how your dog or cat responds and give me a call. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. A quick break, and then right back to all of your phone calls. How many times can one dog pee? Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to call me. I do have an open line. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. We're going to get to you, Betty, Tina, Daniel, and Richard, that I know. Before I get back to the phone lines, though, let me just do this. What does it mean when a cat needs you? I just wrote this week. This is what I have on my YouTube channel. That's why you should go there, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Subscribe. It's free. Here's what I talked about. Cats can need for lots of reasons, but if they're needing on you, it definitely means they're happy. Each time they clench and release their paws, they'll be releasing their scent onto you. This scent is a method of cat communication that tells other cats that you belong to them, and it'll remind them of the bond you share when they're near you. Well, there's another reason. Cats will also need sometimes when they're hungry. Goes back to when they were kittens and they would need on the mommy's belly to stimulate the flow of milk. But needing is always, always a sign that your cats love you. They do love you. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm going to take you guys in order, so it's going to be Betty first. Hey, Betty. Welcome to the Pet Show. Hey, Betty.
Hello.
Hi, Betty. How are you?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. What's up?
Good. I'm great. First of all, they understand exactly what you're thinking. They understand what time is dinner, what time is everything. So.
Yeah, it's like my two dogs. It's like my two dogs wear a watch.
I know. All right. I hope you're sitting down because this is one for the books.
I'm ready.
My grandson and his wife went to Guam for him to go to work. I guess when people move to Guam for whatever reason, they bring dogs, but they can't. It's too expensive to take them home, so they just let him out in the jungle. Well, he adopted about 20 dogs and 2 cats. Well, his wife developed cancer, and they had to come back, and he didn't want to leave them. He had gotten down to 10 dogs and 2 cats, so he spent $31,000 plus to get an airline to fly them. He moved back to Indiana where he could buy some big property for them.
Wow, what an incredible son you have.
Grandson, but anyway.
Grandson, yeah.
They love these dogs, and he bought a big place, and so he's got a lot of fence and stuff around it. Well, I guess they're kind of like in 2 groups, like packs kind of, and they all of them picked on one of the one that was not the healthiest, and they killed it. They tore it apart.
Oh God.
So they're wild, and he loves them, but he they're not trained at all. Do you have any type of suggestions what he could do?
Yeah, he's going to what I would do in his case is I would work with some of the local, my sister lives in Indiana. I would work with some of the local rescues and some of the humane groups, even some of the trainers. I'll give you an example. And this is not to put a halo over my head. Okay? My show is actually heard in Guam. So here's what I would do. Number one, if I were a little bit younger, number one, what I would do is I would volunteer to come and work with your son because he saved all these animals. So what I would do is I would contact some of the rescues and humane organizations. Everyone's busy. See if they have some people that can come and help you. He can't walk all of them at one time, obviously, but he needs to take them for walks on neutral territory to avoid the possessive territorialness that can develop. They were jungle dogs, we think. So the bottom line is it was a survival instinct. So what we need to do now is understand that now they're in a great environment where they get 3 square meals a day, lots of loving. They're going to be more dominant. And I think what happened here is they ganged up on the dog that specifically had some type of either physical or behavioral issues. And my heart breaks for that dog. But the most important thing that they can do right now is if they can work with some other people, volunteers, to maybe walk these dogs off of your son's property to reestablish a relationship that's not so possessive of a place where they are 24/7. I think that will make a big difference. Also, in terms of feeding, if possible, I would feed the dogs 2 to 3 times a day, not more food, just more feedings. They might have had to fend for themselves in the jungle, therefore being more possessive over food as well. Listen, I've had as many as 37 dogs at one time, all of them rescues. Did they all get along at first? No. But little by little, I got them all to accept and tolerate each other. That's where we want to go. So that's what I would do at this point. I don't have a specific I can give you, but the bottom line is I really believe, number one, your son should have a halo over his head, your grandson rather, but I think if he works with some of the rescues and humane organizations based in Indiana, maybe to get some help with the socializing and exposure, we can get these dogs through this. And again, bless him for doing this. What an amazing task he took on.
He's pretty amazing. Okay, I sure appreciate that, and I'll tell him to. He's kind of near Fort Wayne, I think. So I'll have him.
Yeah, there are some great organizations in that area. Everyone's busy, but let him work with some of the right people. And also, you know what? If he finds a couple of rescue or humane groups in that area that are willing to help him, and they're nonprofit groups, tell him to contact me, okay? Tell him to have those groups contact me. It's easy enough. You can find me pretty easily. Have them contact me, and I'd love to make a donation to the organizations that are helping him out.
Very nice of you. Thank you. You're just wonderful.
Oh, don't worry. Listen, in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold. I want you to speak to Suzette. Suzette, let's send them, at least we can do is send them some Lucy pet food. So Lucy pet food on its way. What an interesting call. Breaks my heart that one of the dogs was killed, but at the same time, God, just let him go. Where's responsibility? Where is the responsibility? I remember when I was stationed in Europe, and you know, some of the guys I was stationed with, and they adopted a dog or they bought a dog when they were there, and then they left, and some of them left the dog behind. And there were organizations working at our station for a while, just outside of Frankfurt, in a little city called Bonamace, and we found homes or ways to get these dogs back to the U.S. So listen, when you decide that a dog or cat is going to be part of your family, make the commitment. Make the commitment. It's a commitment, and you need to make it. It's your responsibility that those dogs and those cats are taken care of. And what an amazing story with her son, her grandson. I keep saying son. She sounded so young. To $31,000 out of his pocket to bring these dogs home. And it's not only Guam. It's a lot of other places as well. And I also think that you know, Guam is a big military base, that I also think the government can do a lot more in helping GIs get their dogs or dogs they adopted back home without the rigmarole they have to go through. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. You know what? Let me take a break. When we come back, Tina, we're going to get to you. Daniel, we're going to get to you. Richard, we're going to get to you. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. I'm still in shock that no one answered the question. Oh, she answered the question. The last caller said, Warren, my dog knows when it's time. So 866-870 KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let me just mention this one more time before I have to go to my break. You heard me talk about the Hugs and Kisses and how it's all on sale. The Hugs and Kisses, the air horns, they're on sale right now. Right now they're on sale, but they're only on sale until tomorrow, is it? Yeah, till tomorrow. But listen to this. You can order the Hugs and Kisses and all the supplements and all on my website, thepetshow.com. You can go to Amazon.com. You can go to Walmart.com for all kinds of stuff. But starting this Tuesday, if you don't get there today, you should. But starting Tuesday, if you're an Amazon shopper, there's a great deal coming up where you can save 20% on Hugs and Kisses as well. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. And after this break, when we come back, I'm going to tell you 7 emotions our dogs share with us. 7 emotions our dogs share with us. A lot of people think it's a little eccentric, Warren. How can you say our dogs have similar emotions to we have? Well, not only dogs, but cats have the same emotions we have as well. We'll talk about that, continue answering all of your questions, 866-870-5752. But right now, let's take a quick break, and then we'll get back to you. And I want you to listen to me carefully. If you never tickled a cow, you have no idea what you're missing out there. We are back on the Pet Show. Oh, God, some great calls coming in. Hey, before I get back to the phones, just a second or two. People are always asking me about emotions and do our pets have emotions. So what I did, this is stuff that I do at night. I'm sitting around, Molly and Willie are on my lap. What are the emotions? Let me go over all the emotions that our pets have. So I gave a list of 7 emotions I came up with that our dogs have and our cats have as well. Number 1 is joy. We know our dogs and cats have joy. Number 2 would be fear. Of course, our dogs and cats have fear. Anxiety, they get anxious just like we do. They get jealous in a different way, but they do get jealous. Our dogs and cats can feel guilt. They can feel grief. And they can get aggressive. So those are the 7. Joy, fear, anxiety, jealousy, guilt, grief, and aggression. Not so much different than you or I. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to, let's take you guys in order. We're going to Tina. Hey, Tina in Walnut City. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, Tina. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I have called before, so you are like my go-to. I feel like I talk to you all the time these days.
My buddy.
So I have a kitty that I rescued from a Del Taco drive-through, and the kitten's about maybe going on 10 months old now. I've had him for about a month and a half to 2 months. So I have tried every brand of cat food at my local PetSmart where I volunteer to socialize the kitties that live there, and I cannot find anything that he will consistently eat, and he does not like any dry foods that I've tried either. So I'm kind of desperate. So I'm thinking now of giving him like maybe boiling chicken and maybe mixing some brown rice or something. But I'm a little unsure whether or not that's the safest way to go, the right way to go.
Yeah, Tina, let me give you some advice, okay? Right off the bat.
Okay.
The problem with your cat not eating is not your cat's problem, it's your problem. And the reason I say that is because you told me right off front you tried every different brand of food there. And if you keep switching foods and the cat's not eating, he's getting the idea that something else is coming, or I'm going to try this. No. What you need to do is find a good food for the cat. If we have to kind of doctor it up a little bit, we can. I'll give you an example. You can take the Lucy pet food, and what I would do is I would take, and you hear me talk about this every week, take the Lucy pet food, put it in a plastic container like a Tupperware container, separate the container in half. On one side is the Lucy pet food and some of their wet food if you want. On the other side of the container, separated by a piece of cardboard, is something, I don't know, anchovies, tuna, whatever you want to put there. Let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. The next morning when you take out, you don't give the dog you don't give your cat the sardines or the tuna. What you do is you take the food that's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight right alongside the smelly stuff, pop it in the microwave oven for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and then give it to the cat. Cats do not eat with their mouth. Cats eat with their nose. So if we can really entice the cat and make the food smell better, which heating does, that can be all the difference in the world. The other thing that you may want to try doing is once you get the Lucy pet food, there are some cats that are going to be a little finicky. I would go online to Lucy and I would order some of the kitty lickies on top of it and spread those over the food. So I want you to stick with one food. That's real important, but once you stick with that one food, the problem is if the dog or cat is not eating something, someone's going to try something else and something else and something else and something else and something else. We need to get the cat to eat. So let's start. I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food for the cat. I want you to follow my advice in terms of the letting it sit overnight to pick up the smell, heating it up a little bit. Then give me a call back and let me know how you're doing. How's that?
Oh, I would love that. Thank you so much. That is a neat trick. And I wanted to thank you before you let me go. Thank you for expediting your signed book for our rescue raffle that's coming up. So we did deck it out in a nice little kitty gift basket that I will send an email and let you know what it looked like. And thank you very much for sending that out.
Well, plug your nonprofit group. What's the name of your group again?
We are Cats in Need of Human Care. We have a lot of local chapters. I'm specifically from Diamond Bar, but we've got, Fullerton, lots in Orange County, and we really do appreciate the book that you sent us.
Oh, not a problem. Listen,
yeah.
Tina, I want you to keep me posted. Keep me posted on any activities or any fundraisers that you guys are having, and I'll be more than glad to help you promote it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
You too now. I appreciate it. I'm going to put you on hold, and Suzette's going to pick up, and we're going to send you some Lucy pet food. I appreciate that phone call. Let me see who is next here. Let's go to Oxnard and Daniel. Hey, Daniel. How you doing?
Hi, Warren. Yeah, to answer your question, my cats can definitely tell time.
No doubt about it.
Oh, they know when their breakfast is, they know when their dinner is, and they know when they want to play, and they know when they want to sleep.
Sometimes that's why I love people like you. You're in tune with your cats. A lot of people they're not in tune with their dog or cat that much, where they can pick up on just how much our pets know about us.
Yeah, they're my best friends.
There you go. So, what's your question for me?
And then another quick question for you is, when they're a year old, or a year and 2 months old. When do I start cleaning their teeth, and how do I do that?
Well, first of all, if you can get them to allow you to clean the teeth yourself, that would be great. There are all kinds of great items on the market. You just have to remember, you have to use something specifically made for your cats. You can't use human toothpaste. Human toothpaste is caustic. Unless you can teach your cat to spit and gargle, it's going to make them sick. So I want you to pick up, there are actually wipes on the market, like little wipes, look like little alcohol swabs, which you can use to wipe their teeth on a regular basis. I think that would be really beneficial. And there are, and whenever you go to the vet, have him check the teeth as well. But if you keep up with it, then the necessary part of having the real deep cleaning, although somebody sent me some information this week about teeth cleaning, non-anesthetic teeth cleaning, that I'm going to take a little closer look at. I didn't look at it. But anyway, you can start cleaning them right now. Don't wait. The more you clean them, the better off you are. What often happens, cats are constantly grooming themselves, and that hair gets underneath their gums, and that can cause all kinds of bacteria and infection. So you want to rub it down every day, and you also want to make sure that your cats are not shedding that much, because the more dry skin, the more shedding, the more apt they are to have that hair between the teeth. So that's what you need to do at this point.
Okay.
Daniel. Go ahead. So anyway, Daniel, don't go anywhere. I'm putting you on hold. And you know what, Daniel? I want to make sure that your cat is not shedding that much, and that their skin and coat's in the best shape ever. So Daniel, you're getting my most expensive gift as well. I am sending Daniel a jar of my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplements for his cat. Thank you, Daniel. Great call. 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. I just want to spend a minute here, and then I got to take a break and get back to your calls. I've been doing this show with you guys now for 43 years, 20 years here on KRLA. And what an incredible staff I have here. My engineer, Alex, I joke with him all the time, but he's just amazing in terms of some of the stuff, getting me on YouTube, getting me here, getting me to do this, and adopting 2 cats. Well, what can be better than that? And Suzette, the incredible woman who answers your calls, she does more than just answer your calls. I mean, there was a call not too long ago where the person needed to find a dog, and she went through every little thing she can go through. So I want you to understand that the pet show is not just Warren. The pet show is Alex, the pet show is KRLA, and the pet show is Suzette. All together, we can make a difference and help as many animals as we can. So I don't often say thank you to Alex. It's tough for me to say thank you to Alex. We joke with each other all the time, but thank you to Alex and thank you to Suzette for helping make this show what it is. And the show's been on the air 43 years. Can you imagine? 43 years. Phone number here, 866-870 KRLA. Let me take a quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein, the dolphins. That was one of the most calming, mellow experiences I ever had in swimming with the dolphins, not in captivity, but in the wild. Just kind of amazing. That's when I was doing a lot of people don't remember. I was the creature keeper on the new Mickey Mouse Club, and a lot of my Mouseketeers are now very famous. I can't look at them anymore because I knew them when they were like little kids. But one of the segments we did was actually out there in the wild swimming with some dolphins. Kind of interesting stuff. All right, let me do this. Let me get right back to the busy phone lines. I want to go to Richard. I want to go to Lee. I want to go to Douglas. I want to go to Bill. I want to go to Seth. But right now it's Richard in Los Angeles. Hey, Richard. Welcome to the show.
How are you?
I'm
Warren?
doing good, Richard. I'm doing great.
Good to talk to you. I've talked to you before about my old German Shepherd. I just rescued a guy. He's about a year and a half, German Shepherd. We're averaging about 17 to 20,000 steps a day, which is 6 to 8 miles. And on his food, it says he's 75 pounds, it should be around 3 cups. I mean, at that much exercise, he seems to want like 5. And I've been giving him some clean hamburger with it.
Richard, how many times a day do you feed him?
I would say right now 3. So I'll give him a cup in the morning with a little bit of hamburger. Like, I try to feed him when I eat so he doesn't stand by the table.
Let me go over a couple of things with you, Richard. A great call, by the way. Number one is that just like with human beings, you can read, the labels on the dog food packages, on many of the dog food packages are great, but they're just general. I mean, it was just like saying that every person should eat the same amount of food if they weigh, if they're the exact weight and the same height. But everyone has different metabolisms, and no different with our dogs and our cats. So, for example, if you're feeding the dog 3 times a day, I don't care what the package says at this point, is in fact, I love the sound of him. Is in fact, does his weight look okay? Does he look overweight, underweight, perfect weight?
Absolutely perfect.
Then you're feeding him enough.
Perfect.
Then you're feeding him enough. What I would do is I would watch his weight. In other words, I would monitor his weight. If you notice that, let's say in a couple of weeks, he lost a pound or 2 or gained a pound or 2, you can adjust the food that way. But the fact that he's a perfect weight at this point, he looks good, he's comfortable, he's enjoying it. If he seems hungry during the day, give him a carrot, give him a carrot or something, a little piece of, a little piece of watermelon or a little piece of cantaloupe. I buy cantaloupe at the store already cut up for my dogs every day. So, you can compensate, you can make it a little bit extra for him, but at the same time, you don't want to give him more food if his weight is already okay. It's telling you that his metabolism is okay with the exercise. Okay.
Okay, that's good. I was wondering about what's the best flea and tick stuff that's natural or safe. I don't really want to poison them.
Yeah, first of all, how about if I send you some all-natural herbal flea spray? Would that help you out?
Some what?
All-natural herbal flea spray.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, do you just spray it inside by the skin?
You spray it on a dog and just kind of work it in, rub it in. But also, 2 things. Number one, I would use that spray on a regular basis. It's made by Nature Vet, a great product. But at the same time, what I would also do is I would also go out and buy a flea comb. And 2 or 3 times a week, I would take that flea comb, brush it through the dog, and if there's any fleas, you just put it on a paper towel. You can kill the fleas with alcohol, but this way you'll know if there are any fleas there. But in the meantime, I think it would be a great idea. So I got to move on. Give that puppy a hug and a kiss. Bless you, Richard. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to send you some all-natural herbal flea spray from my good friends over at Nature Vet, and I appreciate that call. Let me take a quick break here. When I come back, we're going to try to get other calls in, but if I don't, I want everyone out there, listen carefully. You all know by now, as soon as I get off the phone, I do my national and Canadian show. I'm going to give you that number in a little while. You don't start calling till 1 o'clock. It's the same type of show. I give away the same type of gifts. In fact, I'll give you the number right now. Write it down, but don't start calling till 1 and be patient. It goes to Radio America, Armed Forces Radio, based in Washington, D.C. So write this number down, but again, not till 1 o'clock. 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. Listen, and I want And we are back on the Pet Show. Let me just give you that number for the national show. The phones are busy, and if I don't get to your call right now, you can start calling at 1 o'clock. But be really, really patient. Let it ring. Let it ring. Write this number down, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Let me see if we can squeeze a couple of calls. And let's go to my friend Lee in Laverne. Hey, Lee, welcome to the show.
Hey, Warren. I haven't spoken with you in 2 years. I'll try and make this really quick because I know you're up against a break. I was looking after a feral cat and feeding it, and it wouldn't get close to me, but it got closer and closer and closer. You sent me some hugs and kisses, and about 3 months later, the cat got run over, and I left candles burning on the street and a big sign saying, "Thanks for doing 60 in a 40-0 zone." So 2 years later now, somebody dropped 3 little black kittens by a sewer by the Rite Aid in Laverne on Foothill Boulevard. I guess 2 of them got eaten by coyotes. The other one was scared, found its way around the other side of the building, lived in a rat hole. And when I say a rat hole, I mean it was nasty. And she'd come out, and we'd feed her a little bit, and then apparently she got pregnant. And then about, a month and a half, 2 months later, 5 little things popped out. Beautiful kitties, 2 striped tigers, 3 black ones. 1 was a tuxie, and they were all in there. And then they finally started to come out about a month later. And I go, this isn't going to happen because this is coyote food right now. They will get picked off one by one.
So I don't want to run out of time. So where are those kittens now?
They're living in my car. I gave away the alpha male. I grilled this guy for 15 minutes just to make sure that he knew what he was doing.
Sure.
It was basically for his cat, his girlfriend and everything. And now I have 2 more. And I was going to give them one away apiece, but I think the best way to do it is to pair them up. I know which ones love each other.
Yeah, you're absolutely. Yeah, dude, that's what I would do. But are you keeping any of them?
I can't.
Yeah, okay. No, listen, I don't judge. I mean, what you did is way above and beyond what most people would do anyway. So, in other words, yeah, if you can find people that will take the bonded pairs, I think that would be absolutely fabulous. And what an incredible thing you did. Just amazingly.
And I'm passing the word along to everybody out here. And one woman just wanted the Oreo cat, and it was for her son. And she wouldn't produce her son. I wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, sure.
And I said, look, here's the deal. If he takes that one, he's got to take another one too. And she's hemming and hawing and hemming and hawing. This went on for weeks and weeks. And then she finally just went off on me and just said, well, you're a meanie and blah, 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 blah.
Lee, I'm going to run out of time, but it was a great call. Listen, a great call.
I know.
The great call. I'm glad. Listen, give me a call back next week, but I want you're doing it right, 2 at a time. And I want to send you a T-shirt. Let's send him a T-shirt. Appreciate the phone call. Remember now, I'm not going to have time to take Douglas Bill. Seth, I think Seth is the son calling from Indiana. Anyway, write this number down. I'm going to try to get to your calls on my national show. It starts at 1 o'clock. But remember, it goes to Radio America. That's based in Washington, D.C. So when you start calling at 1 o'clock, you may have to let the phone ring for a while. But my Los Angeles callers will be first. Why? The show actually starts at 5 minutes after 1. So if you start calling at 1, 101, 102, the rest of the country hasn't heard me yet. So you'd be the first up there. So check it out. Write this number down, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Until next week, give all of your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, a special one between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and thank you for listening to The Pet Show.